Hey Cowichan, it's Alec Wheeler, Events and Membership Manager with the Duncan Cowichan Chamber of Commerce, and we are here with Biz Banter. May is membership month, and we're taking this opportunity to interview some of our members and find out how they've been adapting to stay open or keep going during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today I have with me Kevin Clancy from Harlequin Nature Graphics out in Cobble Hill. Kevin, pleasure to have you here.
Hi, Alec. Nice to see you again.
Good. Now tell us, so you're bumping along, business as usual, and wham, global pandemic. What next?
Yeah, and actually I was down in the US when it hit, so that was a bit of a shocker. We were supposed to go to a Canucks Phoenix game, and that didn't happen. That was one of the first things that was shut down. Sports was shut down. And then, of course, we were down there for baseball, and that was all shut down. So I come back home, and yeah, I have my 2 weeks of self-isolation that I had to go through. So I had to get on the BC ferries and convince them that I had to go on the top level, not the bottom level, but I didn't have a reservation. So we had a bit of a conversation about that. But finally made it home, got my 2 weeks of isolation in. And of course, here I am at home trying to figure out how to get through this, what's happening. I have the luxury of a business advisor who works with me. And he really helped me, guide. He's there when you need some extra guidance, as most of us individual business owners are. Where you really reach out to the outside businesses and outside people to help you with moving forward. Anyhow, so he suggested right away, you've got to let everybody go. You got to let them go now. Get them some ROEs so that they can file for. Then there was no CERB. Then it was just EI. We thought,
Right.
well, okay, let's get some money in their hands because as you know, we service a big chunk of our business is the souvenir industry, tourism, right. Souvenir, that kind of thing, right across the country. So right away, they just cancel all their orders.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just like done. So then and as you know, we moved here in 2009, and in 2009, we were doing zero business in the local community because we hadn't really set up yet. Mm-hmm. And now it's 25% of our business is local businesses.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a big chunk of our business. So that kind of got hit too, because people were, I think some of them were still open, but a lot were confused. Is Harlequin open? Is there, what do I go and buy stuff right now? What's going to happen to my business? So there was a lot of questions. So we were hit by that as well. You mentioned earlier different things that have happened that are positive, and certainly there's certain different things. We're supplying the Toronto Zoo with masks, which are kind of funky, with zebra and tiger stripes and things like that. And a local seamstress is helping us with that. And so you've had to improvise. While our retail store is closed and our showroom is closed, we're open for business, but I haven't quite calculated it's a small little space. I have no idea how it's going to work as far as navigating people in there. So one of the things that we're actually looking at is becoming better at providing people with a virtual purchasing experience with us. You can go online now and go to our website, HNG Promo, which is the promotional side of the business. And you can put down how many shirts you want, that kind of thing. But we'd rather have something a little bit more all-inclusive where people can put their image up and stuff like that. It just make us more technologically advanced as far as that kind of thing. And it's been forced on us because some people prefer to do that. Some people are getting used to shopping that way or buying things that way. And then there's others that don't want to go out, don't want to have to go out right now. We don't know how long that's going to go on. If this pandemic revisits us again in the fall, then we're going to be back down this same path. So we're trying to plan not just for right now, but for 6-12 months down the road.
So you've touched on something interesting there, Kevin, talking about how you've been forced in a position to have to pivot, to go more technological. But do you think these things are maybe going to be a positive? Do you think you're going to stick with some of these innovations even post-pandemic?
Yes. As a matter of fact, yes. And one thing that my wife came up with and she did a video for Facebook. We also do e-com, so you can buy our wildlife shirts on the internet. And that's actually, we've seen a bump in sales in that area. Not huge, but every little bit helps, And so that was kind of a creative side that my wife came up with to kind of address some of the things that are going on. on that side and try to find new business. I definitely think that we have to revisit these things and work more closely on the technological side to improve what we can do for people. I mean, we've always been. I mean, one of the things that, and I got to say, one of the things that's really humbled me is my staff. And what they've done, what they're going through, like they're going through, all the employees are going through, they've been laid off, a lot of them. But what they're doing is, they're working from home, they're coming in part-time, they're topping up their CERB as much, that kind of thing. So at least they're getting some money, they can live, they can survive. Thank God for all of that. But it's more importantly, it's how they've been able to adjust. We've all had to adjust, and to have a staff like we do that can adjust and work with us so closely has been, humbling. And also our suppliers, like some of our top vendors. I said, hey, how do you want to do this? What's the minimum amount of money you can get by with right now from us, kind of thing? And they all were working with us, so it's really, it's really cool. It's awesome. And before I forget, I do want to mention the Chamber and the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. All the work both you guys have been doing has been fantastic, because it really getting the attention of the federal government and forcing some of these issues to be talked about more and showing them the numbers, the actual numbers of what's happening out there. I think it's been huge, and I think it's really helped the governments react to this in a positive way.
Oh, well, thanks for that, Kevin. And I mean, we're a member-based organization, and that's our job, to be here for our members and for the business community as a whole. So it's great to know that that's being well received and being noticed in the community, because we are all in it together, as they say.
They do put up.
On that note, any words of encouragement or thoughts or insights you want to offer to your fellow business owners out there?
It is stressful. We've all had those dark times where, where's this going to go? Where's this going to end? When is it going to end? I mean, thank God for the sunny weather we've had, and they're getting back again. That's really helped. But, overall, I think we just got to make it through. The federal government, they've been, for as much as you want to criticize them, they stepped up pretty quick. And if we can take advantage of those things and be smart with our business and keep our costs down and work with our suppliers and our, my landlord's been great too. He's working with me. So I'm very fortunate with the people around me that are really helping our business. But just hang in there. What else, a lot of us, what else are you going to do, right? But just, and be creative, think about the stuff. And there's a lot, there's so many webinars, but every so often you get a little tidbit out of one that goes, okay, that's something I can think about or look at. And one of those is actually getting to the virtual side of the business and expanding on that, as I mentioned, letting people see what we're doing and what we can do virtually to help them make those decisions.
Perfect. And on that note, so you did mention that your showroom is closed at the moment due to still trying to figure out how you're going to manage social distancing, because it is a smaller space. And I'm sure you'll update us once you've got a plan for that. But in the meantime, remind us again how people find your products and your services.
Yes, thank you. Well, it's Harlequin Nature Graphics. We're online. We're on Fisher Road in Cobble Hill, and if you went to the shop now, you'd see the COVID-19 notice on the board, and also our email addresses. And if you phone us, you'll get my email address and my phone number too. And so what we're doing is we're making appointments with people. Some people we are doing business. People are picking stuff up. Things are happening still, and they're getting better. So people pick up at our back door quite often. So we say, come to our receiving door and pick your product up there. So it's all about communication. So I gave my mobile out. I don't like doing that, obviously, but I gave my mobile out, and people can call me anytime. And we make arrangements to pick up, drop off. We do whatever we have to do to get the product out to people.
Excellent. Well, hey, listen, we're all busy folks, so I'm going to let you get back to business, not as usual. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And this has been Biz Banter with the Duncan Cowichan Chamber of Commerce and Harlequin Nature Graphics.
Thanks, Alec.